welcome to the Dead Chicken Cooking Channel. I'm Lorraine's son Matt, and today my wife Marisol is going to be assisting me, and we're going to make a family recipe, which is peanut butter squares. And my mom's made this hundreds of times, but I kind of took over. They're like my favorite thing on earth, so I took over making them years back because I like to just gobble them faster than Mom wanted to make them. So today we'll share the recipe with you, and all we ask is that you make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you click that little red button down there and subscribe to help Mom share her recipes with even more people. So we'll just go over the ingredients that you'll need here. It's a 3-layer square, so you start with a graham cracker crumb base. And you'll need 2/3 of a cup of margarine to mix with that, and then you gotta just mix in a little white sugar as well. So we're gonna start with that step. We've already got our oven preheated, and then in the center filling is made up of I like the Philadelphia brand, but anyways, you need 500 grams of cream cheese. And then you need 500 grams of peanut butter, or we'll be using this wild butter substitute today. I have a peanut allergy myself, so we'll use that. And then you need the whipped cream, so you can make up your own, or you can just use this aerosol stuff. Works good. You need a little vanilla extract, and need a little cinnamon. That actually goes in the base, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And then the topping is just baker's chocolate, semi-sweet baker's chocolate, but you mix in a little bit of instant coffee with it. So of course we'll show you that when we get there too. But first we got to get this base made up. So of course you need a mixing bowl, and you need the entire 400 grams of graham cracker crumbs. Doesn't really matter what brand. Okay guys, so we got our graham cracker crumbs there, and now you want to add sugar there. Normally the recipe calls for half a cup, but I try to reduce the sugar in this recipe just to make it a little less rich. So we're just going to go 1/3 of a cup. So if you like things really sweet, you can go ahead and use the full half cup. And one of the purposes of the sugar in here is that when you bake it there, it'll glue it together basically for your base. So it does tend to get a little more crumbly when you reduce the sugar, so I'll just warn you that. So we'll mix that all up. Okay guys, so we're just going to mix the dry ingredients up with this mixing spoon here. And you want to add a little bit of cinnamon grounds to this as well. Half a teaspoon, but it's, you know, kind of loose. You can put more or less. So just do that. So mix that all up really good. We'll just put the butter in a little bowl here and melt it in the microwave. So it melts a little easier. So there we go, the butter. Just give it a second there and it'll fully solidify. That took about 40 seconds in my microwave. So now you just want to mix that all in. You just want to make sure all the crumbs get, moist with the melted butter evenly there, because if any of it is dry, it's not going to bake together properly, and you'll have a crumbly base. And then just put it in. This is what's this, 9 by 13 in a 9 by 9 pan? Sound right? Anyways, you can choose a different pan size. All that's going to happen is you'll end up with a thicker or thinner layers depending on your pan size. I've actually made the full recipe just in this pan before and had it really thick, so it's totally up to you. But just get it really even is best. Then what you want to do is just find something like that, a glass with a perfectly smooth bottom, as I find works best. And you just use it to pack this down, and you can sort of adjust it around too as you go to try and even it out. If you've got glass pans like this, you can look through the edge and see how thick your layer is and kind of adjust it. And you really want to compact it as much as you can, because if you don't compact it enough, you will get a crumbly base, or the base will separate from the center. One thing you can do if you're having troubles with a crumbly base is add more melted margarine, but the only issue there is if you get too much, it can kind of solidify and make it really hard on the base. You want to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. And you're going to bake this for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay guys, so that is what you're aiming for. You can kind of see that it's compacted down. There's not a bunch of, air gaps in it. So now we're just going to pop it in the oven for 10 minutes. There we go. Just wait. Okay guys, so while we have the base cooking in the oven, we're just going to work on the center here. So we'll pop open these cream cheeses, and one thing you want to do with these is take them out of your fridge at least a few hours before you make this. You can put them in the microwave and just soften them a bit too. I think that's what I'm going to do. Even though I did take them out of the fridge, it makes it easier to mix later. But of course you want to take the tin foil off before you put it in your microwave. Just you want to grab a plate? Just grab a plate. So we'll just, they have a little plastic backing. We'll leave that on there and just put it on the plate. And don't overdo it, just like 10 seconds or less. Here, we gotta get that out. Okay guys, the base is all done here, so we're just gonna take it out on these cooling racks. If you're using a metal pan or something, just be real careful when you set it down, because if the boggin was to flex, it could crack the base. Okay, so we're just going to add the cream cheese. Okay, and now we'll add the WOW butter. This is like a soy-based substitute. No, these don't normally peel. Oh yeah. It's old?
No, it's not.
Yeah, but it's not past dated or something.
Shouldn't be.
Okay, good to 2021, but it just...
It's just hard. It's cold.
I'm just gonna mix it a little. So we'll just use this wooden handled spatula to remove the rest of the peanut butter. Oh, just have to get out this thing. So we'll just mix this a little. Okay guys, so we're just going to get the whipping cream ready here, and it's 2 cups, and we're also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract to it. So that's 1 cup, and we'll just like that. Add that. Another cup. Just as simple as that. And now we'll just mix that in a little bit. And now I believe the only thing we're lacking in here is just the sugar. So we're going to, the recipe originally called for 2 cups, and we're just going to put 1.5 cups. So there's 1 cup. And there, about 1/2 cup. So that's what I do. Gives it just the right level of sweetness. So now we can actually switch to the power mixer here and just blend this all together nicely. And then it's ready to go on to the base as soon as that base is fully cool. You don't want to rush putting it onto the base because the base will get crumbly. And then once you get this spread in the pan, then we're going to freeze it before we put the final layer on. So this takes all day basically to do this. Well, not all day, but by the time you freeze it and everything. Okay guys, we're just going to blend it up with the power mixer here. So there we go, that's it. That's the center of it ready to go on to the base, but our base is still cooling, so we'll just put some saran over this and leave it to the side, and get back with you when we're ready to put it on the base. Okay guys, so we let the base sit for a couple hours here. As long as it cools off completely to room temperature, you're good. And so now we're just going to put our filling in. I like this personally. It's not what it's made for, but it works good for smoothing it out, I find. So that's what I'm doing. I try to scoop it on somewhat evenly, and that helps to keep it even as you go. Okay guys, so I just got it all evenly in there, and now we're just going to spread it. Just try not to get too rough on the base, because depending on how good your base worked out, it could crumble easily when you spread this on. I think I got it pretty good, but you never know. It's a little bit finicky sometimes if you get the amount of margarine in there a little off or whatever. It just doesn't get real durable. Okay guys, you can see I got it all smoothed out now, and so what you want to do now is put it in your freezer for about 1 hour. Don't leave it in there longer and totally freeze it, because it will actually make it hard to put the topping on, because the topping goes on as a melted chocolate, and if this is really frozen, then it tends to it doesn't self-level. But if you just put it in there for 1 hour, it'll kind of self-level and spread out really easily. So that's what we're going to do. And if you put it on right now with it not frozen at all, it'll kind of mix with this filling here, so you don't want that either. So that's the thing, we just got to chill it in the freezer for about an hour. Okay guys, I just brought in the square base from the freezer, the base with the filling, so it's all chilled, ready to put the topping on. And so I just do that in this little pot. Works really nice, and doesn't really matter, but just instant coffee. You can use decaf too, and it's not that fussy on how much you put in, but just adds a nice flavor to the topping. So I like to go a little heavy on it and put a couple spoonfuls in, and it's like around half a cup of water, hot water. Again, it's not that critical. So you put that in the pot to start with, and then get it heating up. And now we can add our baker's chocolate. So we're going to go for 1.5 boxes. You can just use one box, but if you want a bit thicker topping like I like. That one's really glued. You can see my pot here is barely adequate, but what you could do if you're short on space is wait till put the last few in, because this will kind of go down right away as soon as it heats up a little and starts melting. It's important that you keep stirring it almost constantly or it will burn. And don't, I was getting that a little hot, don't run too hot of a temperature. You're not looking to boil it or anything, you just want to melt it. So. See, we're starting to melt now. Okay guys, it is ready, so you don't want to really mess about now, you just want to get it on there because it's only going to get thicker from here, and so just be careful not to use it all up on the first pan. Remember, you've got 2 pans here, so but I try to pour it like this, and just if you do it right. Kind of messed up. I think I've made it thinner before in the past. So that's okay, we'll just go like this. I think what I've done before in the past is added more liquid to it, more coffee, and then you can pour the whole thing, but this will be nice once I spread it. So there we go, and now we're just going to put them in the freezer and completely freeze them, because they are absolutely the best frozen. I wouldn't even recommend eating them at room temperature. Make sure they're frozen when you eat them. So that's about it. That's how you make peanut butter squares. They're delicious, so enjoy. Thanks a lot for watching the Dead Chicken Cooking channel with Matt. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.